Hi everyone. I just want to go over some of the things that we did in small groups this week for the families who were not able to join us on either day. And one of the things that we did was go over some of the phonograms that we have learned. A says a, you say a, C says k, s, you say k, s. D says d, you say d. F says f, you say f. G makes two sounds. G says g, j. You say g, j. O says ah, o, oo. You say ah, o, oo. S says s, z. You say s, z. What I had the children do was on their slates write the letter that makes the sound that I say. So the first letter I want you to write on your slate is F, the letter that says F. You can pause your video as we go along so that you can take the time that you need to write, but I'm going to go through them. Next, I'd like you to write the letter that says G, J, that spells giraffe. G, j, j, that second sound. Write that letter. And then I would like you to write the letter that says k, s, the letter that says k like in cut and s like in circle. In our small groups, we also played this fun game. And you can play this on your own. I'm going to give you an example of what we did. First, we would roll the dice, and then I would ask the children to tell me the number we landed on. 6. Then we would go 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I would have another child tell me what number we landed on. And we landed on the number... That's right, 7. So then we would feed our dinosaurs or dragons, whichever you think they are, that number of beans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we would roll again. This time I landed on, show me with your fingers, 2. We were on 7, and then we moved 2 spaces, 1, 2, and we land on the 5. And then families, I would ask the children, what do we need to change? If we have 7 from our last turn, if the dinosaurs have 7 beans, but now they only need 5, what do they need to do? And I would let the children think about that. So they're beginning to make connections to addition and subtraction and changing quantities. So boys and girls, you can play that game on your own with dice, and you can feed those dinosaurs the numbers that you land on. Another activity that we did was to look at 10 frames. Before we do that, though, I need to teach you about tallies. And I'm going to read you this book called Tally O'Malley. And we're going to skim through it a little bit. We've got the front cover and the back cover and our title page. And one of the things that we looked for were the things that go in between the words to separate them so we can know where one word ends and the next one begins. And those are called spaces. So in this book, our O'Malley family is going on vacation, and they are in the car for a very long time. And to pass the time, Mom suggests the tally game. And they decide to do tallies for the colors of the cars that they see. They each pick a different color. Mom reminds them how to play. She handed out paper and pencils and said, when you see a red car, you make a tally mark, and that is just a straight line down. Then you make another one for each red car you see, and when you're up to 3, it will look like this. 1, 2, 3 straight lines down. When you get to 5, this is important with tally marks, you make a little bundle so they're easy to count. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4 straight lines down, and then one line across. It can be diagonal or straight across. You get to decide. And then you can count them in groups of 5 all together. So we have some examples in our book of the children counting. Eric counted 5, 10, and these are single, 11, 12 silver. We count them in bundles or in groups, but if they're just a straight line down, then we count them one at a time by themselves. Nell saw 5 and one more makes 6 red cars, and Bridget saw 5, 10 blue cars. Eric saw the most, so he was the winner, and he got to wear the shamrock. Then they played again for the shirts that they saw. Eric saw 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow shirts. Nell saw 1, 2 red shirts, and Bridget saw 5, 10 green shirts. So then Bridget was the winner. Then they played one more time, boys and girls. They saw the different train cars as they passed, and they each picked a different color. Eric saw 1. Nell saw 5, 10, 15 red, and Bridget saw 1, 2, 3 gray. So then Nell was the winner. And then what we did, boys and girls, is we did our own tally chart based on the number of colors in each category for the shirts that the children were wearing. So in the morning group, we had lots of white shirts. We had 4 white shirts. And in the group later in the morning, we had 2 blue and 2 pink. Those were the ties. And then in the afternoon group, we had lots of different colors, and I believe our winner in the afternoon was blue, so I'm going to add them to the blue for the morning class. And we had 1, 2, I have to go across as I'm adding them. So as you can see, you can tally anything, and you can see which has less or the least and which has the most. You can go on hunts outside for different colors, different shapes, and you can use tally marks to record what you see. After we played the tally game, we looked at these 10 frame cards, and the children showed me how many they saw on the 10 frame in different ways by writing that on their slate, by telling me that they saw 1, showing me 1 on their fingers, or making that many tally marks and writing the number. So they showed me 1 tally mark, and they showed me 1 the number. We did a few different ones, and you can pause your video as we go along, but I also showed them different amounts. So please write how many you see on your slate. And I want you to show me with tally marks. I want you to show me with the number. You can even draw a picture. You can draw a picture of how many you see. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in tally marks, it looks like that. In numbers, it looks like that. And you can also draw 7 things, and it can be anything that you like that shows 7. We did a few numbers. So another one that I would also like you to do on your own is this one. Write that many tally marks, write the number. You can show it on your fingers, and you can draw a picture that shows this many. Thanks for joining me. Have a great long weekend.